Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to the If You Roll It, They Will Come podcast. My name is Spartan Kratos, and I've got a really good video episode for you guys today, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy. And today we're going to be talking about the time me and my best friend Peyton got one of our friends, who I'm going to name Brett, who I'm going to kind of describe as the band kid high for the first time. And I want to say no offense to Brett here. Brett's one of my longtime friends. I've known him since literally kindergarten. He's been I've known him the longest out of anyone currently who's my friends. And there's no offense against him, but he is a band kid. He did band in high school. He's currently doing some band in college, but it's what he loves to do, and we're okay with that. We all love him for that, and we're all nerds in my friend group, so no one really gives a fuck that he's a band kid. But I just like to say that because his view of weed is very much like the view of weed would be from a band kid, whereas me and Peyton, my best friend, we are both pretty heavy stoners and smokers, so we both do it pretty often, and whenever we hang out, that's all we do together. We're smoking and doing other shit, and he, whenever he's kind of in town, and he's able to hang out with us, he doesn't do it. But on this fine day, we decided we were gonna make him do it, because this happened last May, so in May of 2021, and this was the first time me, Brett, Peyton, and I'm gonna call and our other friend Carter. This was the core group of four guys for me. These have been my boys since middle school. We've all been together forever, and we don't get to hang out that much in person anymore because after I moved before high school, we just haven't been able to see each other in person, all four of us. The last time together we had seen each other was, I think, junior year. I want to say it was December of junior year. So, and this was just after freshman year of college. So it had been 2 or 3 years since we had all been together, seen each other, and hung out, because we just don't have the opportunity to do that with Brett going to college all the way in Arkansas, and everyone else's, Carter, Peyton, Brett, and my lives just all being so chaotic and hectic that we all just can't hang out as often as we'd like to. But on this fine May day, I was already back in town, and I was given the opportunity to go down and hang out with them just for a day or two while we were all in town, because this was, I think, maybe the last day or second last day that Brett was in town, and I was just getting back from college, and I was like, okay, well, if you're in town, we all gotta link up. Like, we've got to make it happen. And we did. We were making it happen on this weekend, and we were all just gonna hang out at Brett's place. None of his parents were home. We were just gonna go chill out there. So I'm driving down, and all I've got with me, I just got my 2 cards with me, and then Peyton, he got with him, he bought an eighth of weed before this, so we had a variety of choices for us on this day. And when we get there, I'm pretty sure I go pick up Peyton, and then we just drive to Brett's house and hang out there. So we are all there, we're chilling, it's just me, Brett, Peyton, and we're just chilling, right? And then me and Peyton, we start taking rips of the cart. I want to say it's around noon, so I get there around noon. It's midday, right? And we're just taking rips. We're chilling. Carter wasn't gonna get there around 1 to 1:30, so we had some time until he was gonna join us. And this is where we're just taking rips of the cart, and we had all decided, like, on text in our group chat before that Brett was gonna get high. We were going to give him weed, and he was gonna have some. So after a little bit, he decides to take a rip, and this is where we made the mistake, because my carts were both live resin. I found a good deal at one of my dispensaries and was able to get 2 live resin carts for a little bit cheaper, and this is where it really fucked up Brett, because he takes 1 or 2 pretty big rips, and we had to teach him kind of how to inhale, because he doesn't really know how to do this. And this is just so funny, because I just want you to imagine, this kid's 6'2", 6'3", skinny, glasses, and just looks like a dad. He kind of dresses and carries himself with that dad kind of personality, that dad energy. That dad energy. That's what I'm kind of going for. So he just kind of has that build to him, right? He just has that presence to him. So when he takes these hits, it's just kind of funny. Me and Peyton are just giggling out of our minds, because we can't believe he's finally going to be trying it, because he had been bashing it all this time, and we are finally going to make him try it, because his brother has done it. His older brother, who we hang out with, he has smoked with us before. His younger brother, he has smoked with us before. So he's the only one out of the 3 that hasn't done it. So we get him to do it, and he takes a rip, and then what happens is we're just hanging out inside. I think we're just watching some TV. We're just watching some random anime or something inside. We might have been watching Invincible at this point because this is right when Invincible was coming out and being big. So I want to say Invincible is on the TV. We're all chilling out, hanging out, and Brett is just laid out on the couch. You know, they have like one of those L couches, and he's at the part where he can just lay down with his feet straight out, and he looks like he's chilling. And for about the first 20, 30 minutes, I think he was chilling because me and Peyton just kind of like we don't really say anything to him. We just kind of let him do his thing and like let him feel it, and we're just kind of like, you know, chilling, vibe, watching Invincible, enjoying ourselves, having a good time, catching up with each other. You know how it is. And then after a while, like, we see him, and he's just laying down, like, chilled out, like, hands behind his head, like, he is vibing. He is just sinking into the couch. And then around, I want to say around 12:30, 12:45 rolls around. So Carter hasn't arrived yet, but he's going to get there soon. And this is where Brett starts to take a turn for the worse for himself, because he's laying there, and then he starts telling us, he's like, oh, it feels like a headache. Because, like, we ask him, like, oh, describe it. And he's like, it feels like a headache with no pain. And then we're all like, me and Peyton are like, yeah, that's like a kind of a good way to describe it. And we're like, you like it, right? And he's like, no, I hate this. And we're like, huh? And he's like, yeah, I hate having a headache with no pain. We're like, what do you mean you hate having a headache with no pain? I'm like, I guess you can describe it as a headache. I don't really describe it as that ever, but that's how he was describing it. And that's what it started to give him, I guess. It started giving him a little bit of a headache because he started laying on that couch, and he was starting to get a little bit more and more upset and grumpy and getting like frustrated. Like, he was just laying there, and he was like, it was going from like, he looked like he was having a good time on his face to it looked like he was in pain. And I know at one point he got up and he ended up taking some like ibuprofen pills to like help with the headache. And this is like right around Carter gets there. So Carter arrives, and Brett is just laying on the couch, not happy anymore, not having a good time, like head in a pillow, like in pain. We're all laughing at him, me, Peyton, and now Carter, who is there, kind of laughing at him because I've like never seen anyone react to this like their first time. It was just kind of funny to us. And he's just sitting there getting all grumpy, getting all mad, and being the dad he is, being kind of like the grandpa he is, not being able to have a good time and enjoy himself and open himself up. So he's sitting there, he's just not having it. And this is where we kind of start moving outside. So while Brett's kind of inside, I think he might have actually taken a nap for like an hour maybe, but he just kind of is laying inside. And then we watched Invincible for a little bit longer, and then me, Carter, and Peyton, we decided we go outside because we're gonna hang out there now. And this is where Peyton decides to bust out the eighth. And now the thing with the eighth was we didn't really have a way to smoke it. We didn't have papers. We didn't have a fucking pipe. We didn't have anything. So he's like, okay, we're gonna apple bong it. And I'm like, okay, sweet. Do you know how to apple bong? Because I have no fucking clue. He's like, I think I do. And I'm like, oh, great. So he goes ahead and makes an apple bong. And besides this, I'm also like, oh, so how'd you grind up the weed, by the way? And he's like, oh, I don't really have a grinder, so I cleaned this coin, threw it in the thing, and then we're just shaking it up, and that's how we're going to grind it. And I was like, okay, I guess this is how we're doing it, because he just basically put the weed, he had the weed in like a pill bottle, and then he just put a coin in there so it would like break it up, I guess. And I'm like, this is what we're doing. Okay, this is how it's going down. So we do that. Like, I'm shaking up the pill bottle, trying to grind up the weed a little bit more. He's preparing the apple. We're hanging outside. We're just chilling. Me, Carter, Peyton, just enjoying ourselves outside. And then he gets this thing rolling. So we get the weed out, and then me and Peyton decided to go up into the treehouse that Brett has in his backyard. Brett's family has, and Brett decides to come outside, and him and Carter are just chilling outside talking now. He's still not having a fun time. He still has a headache at this point, and he would have a headache basically all day until like around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then he'd just like finally start chilling out. But while Brett and Carter are just kind of chilling, they're not smoking, enjoying themselves, me and Peyton decide to head up in the treehouse, and then we start smoking this apple bong. And this is where the fun really started for me, because like, this is the first time I've ever hit like an apple bong, apple pipe, whatever you want to call it. My Kenny had once attempted to make one in the dorms last year, but it failed spectacularly, with I think achieving a total of 1 hit and just smoking at our room to the point where we just had to leave and go smoke somewhere else, because it was obvious we were not going to get it done, and it was just reeking up the floor. It was loud all over the place. But I digress. Back to this story. So me and Peyton, we're enjoying ourselves, and we're just taking a few rips up there. And then with Brett still not feeling that good, and this is like maybe 30 minutes after, me, Carter and Peyton, we wanted to hop the fence and go to the high school. So the way Brett's house works is his backyard fence, basically, like the fence to his side of his house is the back of the high school. The high school that him, Peyton, and Carter, they all go to the same high school. So his backyard lines up with the fence of the high school, so you can hop over it. So what we do is we climb up into the treehouse and then basically jump over the fence from there. And then you just kind of have to push down the barbed wire and just jump down. And then coming back, you just kind of jump up and then just step on top of the barbed wire. Because there's not that much barbed wire. Because, like, you know, this spot has been being used for, like, years now. Like, what? We're freshmen and we're moving into sophomores in college at this point. And I've known about, this spot has been used to hop over this fence since at least 8th grade of my middle school. At least. Probably longer. So that's how long this spot has been there for us. So we all decide to hop over, and we just start walking around the high school. And we're once again taking rips at the carts, and we're just chilling out. You know, they have a really, really nice high school. Living in the Bay Area, you know, they have a really nice public high school. It's got some it just looks great. You know, it looks fresh. It looks new. It can make one jealous. Like, luckily my high school was pretty nice too, so I wasn't too jealous of them, but it can definitely make you jealous if you went to a shitty high school in the area just walking around theirs. And it's really nice because it's a really, like, pretty high school to walk around in, so you're not, like, annoyed and bored. And like every time we walk around there, it's just kind of funny because, like, we know all the different spots we can get up into, and then when we're walking around though, we always have to, like, watch out for people, because, like, one of the times we did this, this was also, like, around that same time, like in the summertime when we once hopped over, or we were going to hop over, and then, like, Peyton saw one of his teachers over there, so I'm, like, halfway over a fence, and then, like, his teacher turns the corner, says hi to him, and then I gotta hop back down. I'm like, oh my god, I cannot do that right now. And that was just a funny interaction. She didn't really say anything. She just said, like, wait until I leave, and then you guys can, like, hop the fence and come in. But that was just, like, funny, because I was, like, halfway over the fence, then she just turns a corner and just, like, says hi to him. But that's, like, the type of interactions we have at this high school. We didn't have anything like that today. We were just walking around smoking until Brett kind of texted us, like, saying, hey, he was feeling a lot better. We could come back and kind of hang out again. And that's what we did. We came back. I think we watched a little bit more anime after this. We were back outside, you know, listening to some music. We started grilling some food up. Brett, being the dad he was, decided to make us some burgers, something really simple like that, and it was pretty fucking good. Me and Peyton the whole time were just switching rips off the apple bong and off the pen, you know, doing it all outside. It was a great, great day just for the four of us to finally all get back together and enjoy ourselves. Me and Peyton were getting stoned off our asses with pens and with the weed. Brett got himself annoyed with those 2 hits off the weed and then never took a hit off our pen again. And I honestly don't think he's ever going to do weed again after that experience, which, hey, it's not for him. It's not for him. I understand he's one of my homies. I get that it's not for him. I just think that this first interaction with him was really, really funny, just the way he just kind of died. Like, he literally died on the couch for an hour and just was not moving and just laying down with a quote-unquote headache without any pain, which was making it funny to me and Peyton because he kept saying he had a headache with no pain. And we're like, and you're in pain still somehow? He's like, yes. And we're like, okay, buddy. He's like, I should be feeling pain, but I'm not feeling pain, and that's making me angry. And we're like, bro, just enjoy it then. If you're not feeling pain, it's obviously a good thing, right? And he was like, no, that means something's wrong. And we're like, oh, okay. Like, I think he might have had a low-key panic attack too, which might have helped induce more of that pain without any pain being there feeling. But anyway, the band kid, it didn't go well with him. Showing weed to some of your friends, you know, you always got to take that risk of, it's not always going to go well. You know, I've showed weed to I've been a part of a lot of people's first experience of smoking weed, and every person experiences it differently. Some people, it goes really well. They have a good time. They have an enjoyable time. They have a time they won't forget, and they thank you for it. Other people, you know, with like Brett, it goes over where it's just hell. It is hell in the cell for like 4 or 5 hours, and they just got to win the fight to just kind of get back to where they were, and that's what he did. Because after winning that fight, you know, he was able to get up, make us some damn good food, and then he also had some, I want to say it was a apple pie. Was it an apple pie or strawberry pie? I think it might have been a strawberry pie. It was a damn good pie though. I don't remember which. It was either an apple or strawberry pie. But you know, him being like that grandpa dad he can be, living out in Arkansas, living on a farm. This boy can cook, and this was a damn good pie. Now I'll tell him that. Like, it was it was good. We were all enjoying ourselves, and it was just a really fun day to finally, like, as I said, it had been 3 years since I'd seen all of these guys together, and it's probably going to be like another 2 years till we all get back together, probably till we all graduate, till we see each other again. So anytime like this, any moments I can get with them, it's always great to have fun and spend moments with those you can. Savor every last moment you get. They're not always gonna last. Everything changes on a dime. People move, people leave. We all live in different areas, living on different schedules. So getting moments like this where you can just have fun and just live in the moment with your friends, you just got to take advantage of them. And I'm glad me and my friends, we were able to do that and have some new experiences in the process. But that is all I have for this episode of the If You Roll It, They Will Come podcast. I will be catching you guys out in the next one. Peace.